Good afternoon, or if you're an LSU Tiger fan, afternoon, because it really isn't a good one. Um, Part of you, or part of me wants to just say there's not going to be a video this week, and I'm not going to talk about the game. Part of me really wants to do that. I'm not, because I'm a devout LSU Tiger fan. I love them till the end. I'm also I also love talking sports and doing my little sports analysis podcast every week. So I'm not gonna give up on that, but that's what I would want to do. It sucks. It sucks. You lose 40-13, even though Tennessee was a 3-point favorite. They won by 27 points. The play calling, I mean, you receive on you win the toss and you receive. And I've been saying it time and time again. Listen, I've said this when it didn't work. I said, when I found out that Brian Kelly was going to go, you know what? Every game this season, if we win the toss, we're going to receive. And it has not worked yet. Not worked yet. You go, what? Oh, didn't it work on Southern? No. We forced a turnover on a kickoff against Southern, and then we scored after that. So, what the hell is going on here with this? I'm prideful, so I'm going to receive the ball so we can score points, even though I haven't done it yet. And not that receiving the ball was such a terrible thing, because you got to put some blame on Best for not being able to catch the ball. As a returner, you should be able to catch the ball, plus your receiver. But it's just dumb to receive. I mean, yeah, to receive. Listen, you're defending the ball. If you defend the ball and let Tennessee drive downfield with LSU student section behind their back, screaming and yelling, shit, you might stop them. And then you get the ball back with momentum. I'm not going to say that them scoring after us dropping the kickoff was the game, but it certainly was the way the game went after that play happened. Because you had no momentum after that. You finally score in the second half, make it 20-7. You went to it way too many times. You didn't take your points when you needed to. You went for it on fourth down and didn't get it once. I left the game. I didn't finish watching the game. I'll finish watching the game tomorrow, even though it's brutal. It's a game I don't want to watch. You lose 40-13. Listen, I wanted LSU to win, and I even may have said LSU was going to win, but I didn't really think they were going to win. I thought they might lose by a touchdown or 3 points. I didn't think they were going to lose by 3 scores. I mean, just terrible football and too many drops, terrible play calling. There is always blame to be spread, right? You don't just blame it on one player or one thing, but at what point do you say, you know what? As athletic as Jane Daniels is, this position's not working for him at LSU. Maybe try out Nuss. And I have been reluctant to say that all year. I hate those people who go, put Nuss in. Nuss threw 2 picks, almost 4 against Southern. You don't do that against Southern. But what is Jane Daniels doing? He's not winning big football games. So, you know Nussmeier is going to be your future, most likely. So, what at point do you say, let's get Nuss some playing time, and let's see what he can do with the ball? and let's see if he can create success. Because I just don't see this Jay Daniels thing working. I want to have hope in him. I want to have faith in him. I've said it time and time again. Listen, I recorded a video last night for almost 30 minutes. I didn't like it because I was tired and a little drowsy, and it wasn't the video I liked. And I'm like, I'm not going to put out a video like that. And I'm almost glad I didn't. Because in the video, I talked about just having hope in Jaden Daniels, and the fan base in a whole needs to have hope in Jaden Daniels. But when Jaden Daniels is not creating play and throwing the ball, your receivers are beating Tennessee's defensive backs. They beat them a lot. Yes, they didn't do it all the time. Sometimes they were covered. I saw it. I was there. I watched it. But they did beat him sometimes, and it was just ridiculous play. You also have that pass to Jenkins that was right on him. He should have caught the damn ball for a touchdown. That's 20-14. So many times when this game could have been turned around, and it just wasn't. LSU beat themselves today. And if you're a Tennessee fan, ooh, you know you're going crazy. You went into Tiger Stadium and you won. Good for you. But if you think your team won because they were the more skillful team, in some circumstances they really are. No. LSU beat themselves a lot today. You know, they had 206 passing yards in the first half with only one touchdown. Granted, a lot of that was on that 96-yard drive, but still. That's too many passing yards to only have one touchdown. You didn't take your points when you needed them. You gave Tennessee way too much opportunity. You just gave them the game. You got beat too much. You gave them the game. This was not a skillful match. Shoot, I don't even know if the Alabama game will be this far of a score gap. I do think Alabama's going to win. I think you're delusional if you don't think that. But I don't even think we would think Alabama's going to beat LSU 40-13. You go on the road, you play Florida, you play Ole Miss, you play Alabama. We'll see how that goes. You could lose all 3 games. You really could. After the way we played. Excuse my French. I really don't like to cuss a lot on these types of videos, but we did shit today. Just shitty ass football. It really was. There's no other way to describe it. It was just shit. It was terrible football. I mean, we looked so unorganized and just bad. I'm looking at a highlight right now. It's just, this is exactly why I didn't give any Tennessee fans any shit or shit talk on Twitter, and I'm glad I didn't, because we got punched in the mouth one too many times, a lot of the time by ourselves, just hurting ourselves, shooting ourselves in the foot. And you hate to see it. You hate the play calling. You hate to go for it on 4th and 10 or 4th, whatever. If Brian Kelly wants to stay the head coach of LSU football, he's got a lot of work to do, because you expect losses this year, but next year you expect more. I don't expect a national championship next year, or maybe even the next year, but I expect a lot more than what I'm seeing, because I'm not seeing good football. I'm seeing lazy, unenthusiastic, just, like I've been saying, our defense can't hold out all game. They're going to come to break, especially when you give them great damn field position. They got the ball, on the 15-20 yard line when we missed that kick, when we dropped that kick on our own 20. I mean, they're going to score. They're Tennessee. You give them the ball with exceptional field position, they're going to score. Just very frustrating to watch. Your O-line, you're already missing 2 players. to your starters. It's just terrible. Listen, and what I will say is, as much of a punch of a mouth this was, I was still more upset after the Florida State game than this one. And there's a few different reasons for that. One, Florida State was definitely not a good team. Not even close to good a team as LSU is. And they beat us. The fashion they beat us was LSU gets it going in the second half and still loses. But you lose to Tennessee, that a team you already thought you were going to lose to, which makes it feel a little better, even though they beat you by 27 points. Plus, you got beat so bad that it's like, okay, at least it wasn't a close game to where you go, we almost had. And that's why I feel a little bit better about losing to Tennessee. It still sucks. It still doesn't feel good. But it feels a whole lot better than losing to Florida State. And I don't know, man. We just got a lot to work on, and we just played sloppy football out there and terrible play calling. I don't like our offense. I don't like the way it's going. The offensive play calls are just not it right now. And we'll find a rhythm, I'm sure. But how many losses is it going to take for this team to switch on? It's just not switched on, and he played sloppy out there. It was even... So you're going in the game. I got to LSU around 8 o'clock. Kind of chilled in the parking lot. Waited for things to pick up before I left. It was, even though it was 11 a.m., it was such just a fun environment. The day before, I'm gritty. I'm like a kid on Christmas. Barely could sleep last night. I was just excited, ready to wake up and watch some damn football. And I woke up, and I watched some damn football. But I did not watch good damn football. So many mistakes. So many mistakes that just... It's one thing if you lose the football game, but you're not getting penalized, and you're not giving up plays, and you lose just because you were out-teamed, outsmarted, out-coached, outplayed. You know, the other team just makes better plays than you. But the way we lost, again, we shot ourselves in the foot. We hurt ourselves. And you're going to continue to lose games. One thing I said, and I ended up being right about this, and I still have the recording to say it, so I might even post a freaking clip. I said, LSU will either win by a touchdown / field goal, or LSU will lose by 3 touchdowns. Or LSU will lose by like 3 scores. What I meant to say. 3 to 4 scores. I said there's really going to be no in between. LSU's not going to blow Tennessee out. LSU's not going to lose by a touchdown or a field goal. That LSU will lose by 3 scores, or they'll win by 1. We lost by 27 points. So 4 scores, technically. Which I was right. I was right. I hate being right. I was right. I was right when I said you should defer every single time, especially when you have home field advantage, and your stadium just gets to pumping, and you get a stop because your defense can do that, and they did do that, and they can do that. And you drop the fucking kick because you're prideful, and you say, we're gonna go out there every game. If we win to win the toss, and we're gonna receive because that's a good plan, right? Because I'm Brian Kelly. It's stupid. It's stupid. The electing to receive every time you win the toss is stupid to me, especially when you're at home and you have the crowd behind and you can get a defensive stop like you did before. One of the things is even if LSU wasn't able to stop Tennessee every drive, they can hold them to field goals, which they did a couple times. But the offense has to score, and they didn't. The offense had to score to keep in par with Tennessee, and they didn't. They didn't even get close. You're not going to score every time, especially against a very good top 10 opponent or SEC opponent. You're not going to score every time. But you got to score some. And you scored 2 touchdowns, one in the first half, one in the second. Didn't even see the second one, so couldn't tell you how it went. I was so damn tired of that game. And you had momentum. You had momentum going into halftime. I was screaming so damn loud when we scored that touchdown, and it was still, 20-7? That my voice was just, I couldn't scream after that for a while because the whole stadium was just erupt. And you're still down by two scores, and the stadium was excited. So you had momentum going into halftime, and then you go for it on 4th down. Tennessee gets the ball back and gets the field goal to make it 23-7 for halftime. Another dumb play call. You know, one of the things that killed Auburn last week was when they went for it on 4th down, and it was like, okay, you're going to go for it on 4th and 10. Not smart. They didn't get it, and LSU ended up scoring. Same thing happened this weekend with LSU. We're going to go for it on the 4th down with one of the best offenses and one of the best quarterbacks in college football right now, and you're going to go for it on 4th down and give them exceptional field position. I mean, just props, right? Chef's kiss about that play calling. This doesn't make sense to me, man. It really doesn't, and I'm not going to break down. I am not going to break down the game like I usually do. I'd rather count all the dots on the wall than have to watch that game again and go through that game again. I'm not, because there was so much we did wrong that it's like, just leave that. You see all we did wrong. There's no need to break it down. A 5-year-old kid could have told you what LSU did wrong on that field today. It doesn't take a sports analyzer, and it doesn't take him looking at game film to say, you know what? That was just terrible play call. You know what? Jane Daniels should have thrown the ball. Anyone can say that. It doesn't take breaking down film to say that. It doesn't. And I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to put myself through that again. I'll make a video on Florida. I'll continue to make videos whether we win or lose, but I'm not going to put myself through that pain of watching this Tennessee game again, because you saw everything we did wrong. So obvious. The penalties, the just getting beat. I mean, they ran that same screenplay, wide receiver screen, all the time, and sometimes they did it back to back to back. And it's like, okay, you haven't caught on to what they're doing. And sometimes they would get nothing, and sometimes they would run it upfield for 20 yards. Just terrible football. And I don't know what else you can say if you're Brian Kelly. Right? You've been able to make excuses And especially with a win, like when you're winning, it's easier to make brush off excuses. Okay, we're gonna get better, but in after a win, but after you lose 40-13 at home, what the hell do you say? Oh, we're gonna improve. We're gonna have more hope. We're gonna push the ball downfield. You've been saying that since Mississippi State. You said that after Auburn. You really can't count Southern or New Mexico. So what the hell do you say now? I haven't watched his post game conference. I won't probably watch it till tomorrow, but what the hell do you say? Like, what excuses do you have to make now? I mean, obviously, the man's not going to get fired. It's too early for that. But what do you say? He obviously has to take blame for some of it. A lot of it's his fault. I'm just all the plays in my head are going over and over, and it's like we could have changed the game with this play. We could have changed the game with this play. If we didn't do that, that game would have been so different. And at some point, it's too late, and you're not gonna do what you did against Florida State, almost coming back and winning. You're not gonna do what you did with Mississippi State or Auburn and coming back and winning against Tennessee, because they're too good of an offense and too good of a team to do that. And you saw that. It sucks. The game could have been different. We would have elected to defer. And you might be thinking, oh, that's stupid. There were so many this and that where the game changed, and you're right. There was so many missed opportunities or drops or etc. to where the game could have changed. But if you defer that kick, stop Tennessee in their tracks and score, how much better do you feel as a team, and how much momentum you have as a team when you score first? Because when they punched you in the mouth and score that first touchdown after you dropping a kick, how good do you feel as a team? You probably think to yourself, oh shit, here we go again. The other team's scoring and we're not. Your defense can't do everything. And especially your defense can't do everything when your defense is also making mistakes. Not being able to stop the quarterback. Not recovering fumbles. How good would have it felt after shit, I can't even think of it. Hendon Hooker. How good would have that felt after he got pummeled? Did he get like hit by? I can't remember if he got hit by Alec Gay or get Greg Books, but he got absolutely pummeled and fumbled. How good of it would it felt if we would have got that fumble? You get momentum. So many damn plays that we could have changed momentum. And if you're a Tennessee fan, listen, props to you. Go and beat Alabama next weekend. Good luck with that. But you didn't beat this LSU team because you necessarily were the better team today. LSU lost because a lot was their fault. Tennessee just had to put in a little effort, and they won that game. They didn't even have to do all the crap they did, and they would have won the game. And we just punched ourselves in the face. And that'll probably be the theme throughout the season with LSU when they do lose, is just punching themselves in the face. What can you do? It sucks, and there's really not much to talk about besides that. I want Brian Kelly to have success. I never want to go against a coach or boo a coach, especially when you're your own coach. But same with Jane Daniels. He's my quarterback. I don't want to go against him and say, this and that is his fault. But it comes to a certain point when you have to try something new, because Jaden Daniels is just still playing too scared after saying he wasn't going to, after having that miraculous players meeting that was supposed to just win you that game, right? The players meeting. Nothing changed as far as him feeling more confident and getting rid of the ball and scoring touchdowns that he needed to change. And I don't want to say nothing changed, because look, he had 206 passing yards in the first half. That's impressive. But still, it was 206 yards against a not so good Tennessee secondary, and it was 206 yards that should have been 3 touchdowns instead of 1. So I'm headed off to New Orleans tomorrow. Let's hope at least one of the teams. Well, Catholic Eye won, so that's always good. Besides Catholic Eye, at least hopefully my Saints team can win this weekend. I haven't been to a Saints game. I can't tell you how long. I haven't been a huge Saints goer. As far as going to the games, I usually just watch the games on TV. But so this is my first Saints game in a while. So, let's just hope Saints can make it happen tomorrow. Let's see if they can change some stuff up. See how Andy Dalton does. Seahawks, below average team, so we'll see. So LSU again loses 14-13 in just a terrible played game, terrible played called game. Too many mistakes on special teams. It's really been the theme of this whole season. Something you really don't expect in a team is having to worry about special teams, but that's been the theme. Bad special teams. And special teams, I feel like, is one of the most overlooked parts of football. It's like, okay, if you have this and this on special teams, you're good. You don't realize how important special teams is until you see the shit that LSU does on special teams and the mistakes they make. Just like with O-line. If you're not a receiver or a quarterback or a running back, no one really a regular watcher of football, just say your regular ordinary fan, isn't gonna know the name of any defensive lineman really, or offensive lineman. But you realize just how important the position is when you don't have a good O-line. You realize just how important being an O-lineman is. And this year, we don't have a good O-line, and you just realize how important it is. So thank you for watching. I thought it'd be a much worse rant, but I kept it to a minimum today. I am pissed, just a different kind of pissed. I don't know if any other LSU fans like that. I know me and one of my friends were talking about it on the walk back from the game we were talking about. This just feels like a weird loss because I'm upset about it, but I'm not like too terribly upset about it to where I'm just gonna think about it all weekend. It sucks, but tomorrow you're now 0-0 again. You restart the week. Go beat the Florida Gators in the swamp. Go beat Ole Miss at home. Go and try and score more than one touchdown on Alabama, because that's how it's going to be. It's going to be a fight to score on them at all. So, thank you for watching. Again, this is more of a sad, sucky episode, but I'm gonna have to make them sometimes. When you're an LSU fan, you're gonna lose games. I'm not an Alabama fan. I can't talk about a win every damn Saturday afternoon or Sunday morning. So that's just how it is. So thank you for watching. Again, I say this every video. I'm trying to get better. I'm learning as I go on. I love to do what I do. I find it entertaining and fun, even when days like this we lose 40-13. But I love it, and I'm just trying to get better at it. So support. I appreciate all of it. Leave me a comment. Tell me how I'm doing. Like, subscribe, share, and yeah, thank you for watching. And as always, go Tigers.